T-Man978 Chill Review. Hello everyone, T-Man978 reviewing Fans Toys KOOT number 22. I don't know why, but KOOT, aka Kup, Transformers Masterpiece style Kup, is a Target Master, but they don't make a big deal out of it on this packaging. I mean, they do show it off right here. And here is the bio. If you can read that, I want to pause and read it. The Target Master's official name for them is Drawback, but his original G1 name is Recoil. You would think they would have put his name somewhere on there because he is, in fact, a Target Master. Before I'm completely done with the packaging, take a good look at that gun, because guess what? They didn't give me that gun. It wasn't in the packaging. Unfortunate for me, but I know this isn't the first video you've watched of this guy. What they did give me was this instruction manual and collector's card, which is credit card material, and on the back it's nothing but the same bio that you already just read. Looks wise, I feel the same way about KOOT that I felt about Willis. It just filled me with an extreme amount of nostalgia because they are so cartoon accurate. They feel so good. They feel like actual real robots because of the diecast in them. And they did a good job as far as the sculpt. I think he's a decent height next to Hot Rod right here, or the official Hot Rod. And here's X-Transbot's wheelies right there. So there you go. And here's a team up we didn't get to experience on the original cartoon because you know they would be friends, because basically Kup kind of replaced Ironhide. Drawback Recoil is held the same way any other Masterpiece gun is held, with the little 2-tab system that is annoyingly frustrating, to be honest with you. Drawback is nicely sculpted and he's made out of some good quality plastic. This does not feel cheap at all. He's easy to transform. You just push the handle this way, bring the feet down, rotate them around, separate it actually, rotate them at the knees. And then basically if you bring this back, it kind of transforms his arms automatically by itself. But this is an awesome little dude right here. The only thing that kind of disappoints me is I wish he had a ball joint in his neck. I ain't gonna say kinda, that does disappoint me. I wish he did have a ball joint in his neck. But the head is very detailed, as you can see, and that has nice paint right there, and he has a nice little grin. I mean, I do admit to you, he does look a little bit plain because he's lacking any type of paint deco besides the face. But this is actually what he looked like in the cartoon and what the original toy looked like. There was no deco. It was just black up here, gray down the bottom. But this is like a slightly light blue or a grayish blue. Articulation, the head rotates. Shoulders go up right here. Plus there's a little ball joint right there that lets it go up like that. Of course they rotate. You have a ball joint in there which gives him inward motion right there. And it does give him, since he has that hinge, a double jointed elbow, nothing at the wrist. If you move this forward, he does actually have a waist joint. Legs can kick out to the side on the ball joint, go all the way forward, come back, but this gets in the way. He has a hinge right there in the ball joint just like the arms, so that gives him double jointed knees. Plus he has this rotation, and then he has a ball joint and an ankle for ankle pivot. That's nuts. If you want to fake an ab crunch, you can lift this up right here to give him that type of action, or just get that out the way in general so you can get into some good quality poses. He reminds me of this dude just maxed up with articulation. But one thing I do like about this guy better, besides the color breakup and more paint and whatnot, is he does actually have like a real ab crunch, and I really love doing that poses with him like this with that ab crunch bent. But yeah, this is still good. He actually has some articulation that I wanted this one to have, namely the ankle pivot and being able to move the arms inward. So he has him beat in that respect. But there you go with them. Let me get to KOOT. Like I was saying, KOOT is awesomely detailed. That face looks just like it came off the screen. One screw in the back, which when I look at it, is that stripped? Whatever. Now this is kind of unsightly. You don't have to have this Autobot symbol there, but the way it transforms, you have to make sure that the chest is actually pressed in so that it'll tab and keep everything more flush together. If you don't, things like this added Autobot logo would look messy. The head can look down not too much, looks up that much, but if you actually push it more and untransform this joint right there, you can look up even higher, which is cool. A lot of people complain about this friction joint outward, and he has ratchets that way. Every time I mess with this, it makes me think about the scene in the movie where he complained about Hot Rod leaving something out when he fixed him, and I like that. I think it did make some type of sound. I'm gonna have to watch the movie again. He has a double jointed elbow that goes all the way up. Tight wrist swivel that will rotate the whole arm before the wrist actually swivels. And the hands open up like a typical Masterpiece carbide. I like this transparent coloring right there. The waist is a weird choice right there. You could turn it about this much before it bumps into that. But with the way they designed it, he can actually keep turning, but it opens these side panels up. So you just have to fix that, which is unfortunate for him. The legs can kick out right here. These tend to sink in right there, but I noticed that when you push this out, it moves that out the way. You honestly don't have to mess with that, but if you do, he can kick out even more. These bend up really far, but unfortunately the legs kick only to there, and it doesn't even hit that skirt. So I almost feel like playing with him. I feel like they designed him purposely like this to match up with this dude right here, instead of just perfecting him and going their own way with it. It's like they're trying to match up with the official Takara Tomy too much to me. He can kick back that much. Thigh rotation, double jointed knee, and what's unfortunate, I mean, you can get him into some good looking poses if you had a stand, but if you have a double jointed knee, you should be able to kick up higher than that. Toes can come down due to transformation, and he has nice ankle pivot. All of this is diecast, this is diecast, and I'm pretty sure there is some diecast somewhere else in his body. Oh no, his chest is diecast. This whole part right here is diecast. So he is rather heavy. And also, as you can see, he's superposable. Now people complain about this backpack, and yes, that is unsightly. That is MP36 Megatron unsightly. So I can't even deny it, but he did have a backpack in the cartoon and the original toy. But yeah, that's kind of a mess, so I do have to admit that. Also included is an optional face with the mouth open so that he can put this little tiny mouse turd looking cigar in his mouth. Let me do that. Yeah, just jam that in his mouth. Now you have to pry the face off at the bottom, so the best thing to do is lift these up, bring this forward, and you should get better access at the face. You might need some type of flat tool to get that off better. Hold on. That's what the face looks like without a face. So there you are with this right here on the head. Well, Mr. Kup is all about options. I mean, you could leave him like this, to be honest, but here is the transparent parts right there. As mentioned before, they're not as transparent as they originally showed in the prototype pictures. Optionals, if you don't want this Autobot sticker showing, they thought ahead. You could rotate these around, and this is mostly for the transformation as well, because it'll be all separated and dumb looking if you leave the Autobot symbol right there. So here he is with no Autobot symbol if you want that. So all in all, drawback is awesome, but missing some paint. Not missing paint, but he would have looked better if he was painted and had some extra detail. This guy is cool, but I wish his legs went out further than that, and I wished his waist was designed differently, but I can't complain about it too much. He's awesome and looks like what he's supposed to, and he feels very nice and is made out of very nice plastic. So I am very satisfied with the robot mode. Now time for me to stop stalling and get to transformation. This is a complete cluster once you get to certain areas, so bear with me. First thing you want to do is lift this up right here and bring this down like I've been doing several times. Spread this out right here. Now we can lift the head out of this port right there and go ahead and bring all of this down right there. Might as well fold these in right here, and you can detach this because you're gonna have to. I've been trying to find out an easier way to do this. You need to basically bring this down, move these arms out the way, fold these wheels out, lift this up, and you'll see later this little piece also comes off because it becomes the windshield, and you can change that out if you don't like the cartoon color. Now this needs to slide up, which is extremely difficult to do, especially the first time you do it. Okay, raise that up as far as you can. Now here's where the cluster stuff comes in. You need to move this up and back here over this right there on both sides. Lift it back and up over this right here, which is easier said than done. Now this is the first time I was able to bend that down that good. Now we need to take this out and get it around the wheels. So there we go. Now that I'm on camera, I was able to, basically the main thing you need to do is get this backpack to rock back as far as you can so we can get it down and around this wheel the best you can. Okay, it's around the wheel. Now we need to take this shoulder, spin it this way, spin the elbow in like this, bring that down, bring the arm out and bring it down like this. Same thing on the other side. Spin the joint out like that, rotate it in, bring the elbow in, bend the other joint, elbow joint backwards and bring it down like this. Now rotate these wheels up here and come around here and try to bring this up to match with this piece up here. So it's like you have to bring it up, start working things into place, and that will go into place right there. Fold the head in. If you don't want his face showing right there, you can rotate the head backwards. So there you go, that. Now start bringing this down like this, and we can push that into place. Okay, rotate that. Now to start working on the legs, bring the feet down. Make sure you lift this up, and the wheels are spring loaded. They protrude out after you lift this up. Make sure you lift them up, like I said, because it interferes with the transformation if you don't. Now we can stretch this leg up. Here's how that's working. This is holding that into place. It's like you need to pull up while moving that out at the same time. Now the knee needs to bend here, bend here, and we need to rotate this up, and then it's a little bar right there, and it needs to come over like that. If you don't bring it up like that, it can't go forward. Now we need to bend this way, start getting it into place. Do the same stuff on this side. Bend the knee here and here. Lift this up, move it over on the bar, start bringing that forward. And now we need to do a whole bunch of hard things. Bring this down. These tabs right here go into these two slots right there, while you're putting these two tabs into the little groove right here and moving this over top of that. It is very crazy back here. And moving the knee over top of the hands and pegging two pegs right there into the circular holes on the side of the legs. So yeah, they did not make this easy at all. Oh yeah, and while pushing this underneath of that. So it's just so much stuff to worry about all at once. Matt and Extra Zero already told me that they're never going to transform theirs. So then on top of this, and this is the craziest part, you have to bring this down and see that hole? That hole needs to get behind this piece while you're pegging this into the slot right there. So yeah, pretty much good luck with all of this stuff that I'm mentioning right now. What I'm gonna do is try to get this into place. Here was a problem. This stupid thing rotated the wrong way. It needs to be up like that, so that this can also peg into that. So it's just like so much stuff to worry about. Because like if I push this down so that I can make sure that I get this over this, now I can't get this under that. So it's like, holy moly, who came up with this? I mean, it's an engineering marvel compared to anything that I can make myself. But geez Louise. So man, we finally have him into his space truck or Cybertronian pickup mode, and good lord. Yeah, once you get it together, it feels like a freaking complete beast. It feels like a brick. He looks like this on the bottom, excuse me. It actually does roll. These wheels have suspension. Now, one thing disappointed me. When I was seeing this before transforming him, I thought this was going to rotate out to be like tail lights. So they actually didn't paint any tail lights. He doesn't have any details back there. Yeah, and the biggest thing that nobody that I've seen do reviews for this guy complains about, this. That looks completely unfinished and looks a mess. I mean, he's almost there, almost perfect in this mode, but that when I first saw a review for that bugged the crap out of me. I was thinking maybe they could have put some transparent parts, made some painted some lights on there or something to make it look like it's the front of a car, or maybe they thought you wouldn't be paying too much attention to that, but it looks like something's missing, like you're supposed to plug in a bumper, and that is weird to me. I did his transformation reverse. Like, you have to have the head forward. There's no way to turn his head around for his transformation. But I didn't speak on it. He comes packaged in robot mode. The elbows need to be plugged together, and then you rotate the feet backwards in. And you should be able to get it from that point. Back here, this port is shaped just like his gun. So you could actually put his regular gun in here, or you could just use drawback and rotate this as you see fit. And that's cool. That's good. He can be an anti-aircraft right there, because Decepticons mostly flew back then on the cartoon. Or somebody could be back here manning this gun right here if you want, which is cool. Target master, using the target master. Here is the translucent windshield right there. Not too big of a deal, but you can see that there's metal behind there, and no passenger could actually fit in there. But he is a Cybertronian vehicle, so maybe he wasn't meant for passengers. And luckily for me, Hot Rod isn't too much of a bother to transform. So here you are with them. And once again, maybe Hot Rod is a little bit too small. They were kind of more equal. Hot Rod is a flat vehicle, but Fans Toys is supposed to be making a Hot Rod. They're supposed to be making that thing for like, I don't know how many years. I don't know when it's coming out, so I don't know. Here you are with KOOT, and drawback. Drawback is cool, like I said. KOOT, I love in robot mode. Transforming him is torture, and what you're left with is basically Kup in his vehicle mode. But I swear I do not like this. That drives me nuts. Maybe Repro Labels is gonna, or Toyax is gonna put out a label sheet to cover that up or make that look better. More than likely they will. And they'll probably have labels back here, so yeah, this is Hasbro level effort back here, because he has the lights molded in, but they're not painted, so that is freaking weird. Anywho, I hope you guys learned something. I hope this didn't run too long. I'm probably gonna start. I'll probably edit it out, most of it. We'll see. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. Thank you for watching.
Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those freaking videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click that shit.